race, or they did?
Yeah, we got together with, we had over 100 students from the 3 communities. We formed 18 teams.
And what kind of a race is that, a road
Well,
race?
it's kind of like the Amazing Race on TV, where we had set up different stations.
Hunt.
Yeah, little scavenger hunt. They had to do some geography questions. They had to answer certain things, do certain parts of the event, and we had a great time. The students came together was the goal. We were able to use the Hockomock Y up in Foxborough as a facility. We took the place over for the night. We had members of the Tri-Town Chamber of Commerce come and help us, adults. We had folks donate food.
I was going to say, how would you feed them?
Well, everything. I mean, whatever was brought in was consumed.
Local businesses donated everything.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
It was really great. It was a fun night. The kids had a great time, and they made some relationships. Renewed some as well.
Yep.
So it was really good.
Very nice. Now I'm going to ask you. All right, now it's getting difficult. Now we're going to go. Now we're going to do some other questions here, and we're talking about the proposed Foxborough Casino, and it's funny that some of us, I think, are handling it better than others. I will say, I think you've taken an unfair amount of criticism because you actually haven't. You haven't gotten involved as far as taking a stand one way or the other yet, and I kind of agree with that because nobody knows what you're taking a stand on.
Right.
And you have been you've been the target of a few letters. Of course, you got a constant thorn in your side that follows you wherever you go. But in all fairness, that individual writes letters in the papers left and right. I don't think he's ever had a good word to say about anybody. So. But I won't even. I'm not going to do him the service of mentioning his name. But it's just enough after a while.
Yeah, it's true.
He lives to throw darts at you. This is a big deal. We've done 2 shows on that here, actually, and actually 3 shows on this, and we've talked about it 3 different occasions. We had Bill Govey has been here twice, local columnist, and we had the young lady who was running a informational Foxborough discussion group, Tracy Longa, was here.
Yep.
And she's another one that's been targeted because she wants more information. And there isn't. So there was some conceptual drawings and a few things that have come out. I guess the people of Foxborough. I'm sure you saw the DVD.
Yeah, I did.
And again, there's no real plan in place yet. There is no real final proposal. No one's talked about mitigation money. Nobody's talked about tax revenue. So basically, what's there to be for or against?
Well, it is. It's certainly a very emotional issue. I supported the legislation, in the House for 2 reasons: the jobs and taxes. Seeing what leaves the state, every day.
All love their taxes.
Yeah, that's right. But what leaves the state every day to Connecticut and Rhode Island is a tremendous amount of money. And
without question.
And the legislation was clearly written and adopted that said that if the host community doesn't want it, it doesn't go there. It's that clear. Unfortunately, or fortunately, there's a process to all of that, and I'm sure we will get through it. I'm confident that the folks in Foxborough are certainly very capable and knowledgeable to be able to do that. However, I will say that it's very premature because we've had. Just a couple weeks ago, there was some folks that were walking around down in Route 24 and 140 in Taunton, Indian tribe, looking to see if they could secure that.
They were actually here about a year ago.
Okay. So then we've got there's some others that went just recently. Last week were in Fall River, looking to do something down there. We've got people discussing things in Milford. We've got a proposal that's beginning to come together, perhaps at Suffolk Downs in Boston. We've got something from MGM or Caesars in the city. So there's a lot going on.
There is, and it's, and really, I think it would be almost knee-jerk for you to come, to take a stand on something that doesn't exist yet.
Well, again, there's a process in place,
and you could go either way on this, right?
Sure, absolutely.
You may not like what comes out, and that'll be the end of it as far as your support goes.
Right.
But then again, you don't know, and that's good. I think you're doing the people of Foxborough a service by keeping an open mind, and not and I understand that you're not making everybody happy by doing that, especially one person. But
right.
Again, I think you're doing the right thing, and I did want to get you down here to tell you that.
Okay, well,
And
thank you.
I mean, I'm not a big casino person to begin with, and we've done, I've talked it to death, but I think it's well worth listening to.
Right.
I mean, like Bill said, if he picked Bill Gouveia picked an arbitrary figure of $10 million. Where that figure came from is it doesn't matter, but I mean, that's a lot of money to a small town every year. That's a lot of money.
I know we're probably getting close to running out of time. I want to throw in a plug.
Okay, plug away.
All right, plug it in. This Friday night, not sure when we're airing, but
well, it'll be probably next week.
okay, next week. Then we're going to be finishing up with our 20th father-daughter dance at the Mansfield High School, which we're going to have the little girls kindergarten through second grade with their dads. We'll probably have close to 800 little sweeties. And this is our 20th year with Together We Can that we've been putting this dance together.
Yeah.
And it's as much fun as it was 20 years ago when we started, when my daughter was this big, as it is
I was
today.
there.
So
I was there, and I
yeah.
was not one of the daughters.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. The kids are wonderful. The dads have a great time.
Oh yeah.
We will have. We last week we did the girls' third, fourth, and fifth grade. We had 785 show up for that.
Wow,
It was
we
great.
went
And
there.
the
It was-
boys and moms will be here
Went
next
there a
week.
long time ago. I believe Peter Conti was the DJ.
Still DJing.
doing it, huh?
Yeah, he's still doing it.
And I'll tell you, he puts on a great show
Yeah.
for them.
Kids have a great time. So we're excited about doing that, and the money that we raise from that goes right back into the community and
that's
all
good.
sorts of support. So
That's
great
good.
crew.
And the family's doing well.
Everybody's doing good. We've got my grandson is now 19 months old, and he and I had our first dining experience last night down at McDonald's in Norton, and he had the little chicken McNuggets and some French fries and the apple slices.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he ate the whole thing. So
You
that
know
was
what?
pretty cool.
I'll tell you right now, we're going to get back to the days when apple pie was fried. Do you remember this? Caution, filling is hot.
That's right.
What happened in good old days?
But
when we
it's really, it was amazing. He's a little guy, and he just he chowed through everything, so it was the right portion for me. Down to the 4 ounces of chocolate milk, and he was happy.
Oh,
and
there you go.
Off we went. So it was a pretty proud day for
Excellent.
me
Excellent.
to see him get through that. It was fun.
Now, one other thing I got to ask you, and that your name surfaced in the paper with a bunch of other politicians, and that was on the per diems.
Yep.
Okay, and I noticed you were actually on the lower end of that, but I was just wondering if you had anything to say. I mean, what is is that something that's limited to the House? Is it the House?
No,
and Senate?
House and Senate.
How does this work?
Well, what we do is, the way it works is any day that we're in session, that we're in Boston, or we're in informal session, which is pretty much any day. So basically, if we are going to the State House, there's a per diem of $26. In my case, $26. It's based on mileage as the crow flies.
Okay.
To the State House. I don't know what the basis of the miles is. As you know, Boston's 32 or 33 miles. So we get $26 for each day that we go in. Now, there is no per diem.
Well, let me just say, you have a 100% voting record, so obviously you go there quite often.
Yeah, I haven't missed yet. In 5 years, we've maintained that voting, and that's obviously important. It's very, very important. It's important to me. It's important to the constituents that somebody's there to represent them. But the per diem, what failed to get mentioned in that article, which I thought was interesting, was that all of us took a pledge a number of years ago that we would donate the per diems. Give it back to the local community, whether it's to the food pantry or to a scholarship fund or the YMCA, reach out for youth and families. And all of the reps that were mentioned in that editorial last Sunday have donated the money back. And I would be willing to guess, and I haven't done an analysis and I probably won't, but I would be willing to guess that $16,000 that was spent on per diems has probably been factored by 5 back into the community with the investments that we make, because my sense, as my colleagues feel the same way, we do a better job of making sure the money goes where it's needed in our communities, as opposed to sitting in the State House coffers being paid in unemployment claims or being paid in fraudulent EBT charges or SNAP benefits. So if I want to give money to the food pantry in Mansfield, as I've done in the past, it goes there. Or if a kid needs an Eagle Scout project taken care of, the donations made. And Betty Poirier has been instrumental in the Heating Assistance Fund, by herself, helping people. And Steve Howitt has taken his money and done the same thing, George Ross as well. So, I think it was a little tilted to call us hypocrites for taking it. We didn't invent the law, but I'm not going to leave it behind because that's money that can be used in my community, and I promise to continue to do that.
That's why we have people on places like this so they could, get the
Right.
rest of the story. Remember
Right.
Paul Harvey, the rest of the story?
Right, exactly.
Well, that's the rest. See, now this is good. Don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, this
That's
is
right.
good to know. Now, see, now you guys, you all learned something tonight.
Right.
Okay? Instead of a bunch of greedy politicians, they're actually helping their community, and they're doing something.
Certainly try to do as much as we can.
So I'm glad that you had a chance to come out and explain that.
Great, thank you.
And you're gonna be following up with us on some of these issues and things that are going. Is there anything else upcoming that we need to know about?
Well, we continue to work on our regional sewer project that I've been involved with for the last 5 years, and we've got agreements that are ready to be signed and adopted. So I think we're going to see that come together. That's going to be the backbone of our future economic development, both here in Mansfield and Norton and Foxborough, because we do want to continue to do the right thing, bring in commercial, tenants, employers that employ people. Look at Covidian, what a success that's been.
Oh.
Medco, Medline, into Norton, into Foxborough. I mean, we've really seemed to be coming together. Look at the redevelopment going on in downtown Mansfield. You can't do that without sewer.
Right.
Can't do that without sewer capacity. The Romans figured it out 2,000 years ago. We need to do the same.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
we're working on that and continue to just keep, again, reaching for the help from state government, collaborating with folks out here. We've got a bunch of really dedicated folks that have been working on that
Well,
project.
that's good.
And
Keep up the good work.
we're going to try.
Keep up the good work at the state. You guys are doing a good job. Now, I got to ask you something on a personal note.
Okay.
Okay? And as a businessman, okay, you're a local businessman. It's getting to the point now where Colby is kind of taking some of the reins and everything. What's that feel like, father
It's
to son?
really neat.
What is that?
It's neat. My mother is extremely proud. My mother started the agency Barrows Insurance back in 1977 as a woman in the 70s to start something on her own like that with great assistance from my dad. And then I came in 94 and Colby came in 2006. And if Logan keeps eating those chicken nuggets, maybe he'll be there another 25 years or so.
So it must feel kind of
it's neat.
interesting
It's neat
to pass it down. And
well, he's gonna earn it.
Oh yeah. Well, no, don't watch this, Colby.
But he's doing a good job. I'm so proud of him. He just soon to be elected as vice president of the Rotary Club in Mansfield, and he's stepping up. He was with me this morning hosting a table at the Y breakfast. He's a good guy. Was able to buy a house last year out in East Mansfield on the Common. He's going to be married in August, and so really, really proud of him.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you may or may not know, okay? But your family business wasn't always located where it is now.
Correct.
Okay? And there's actually some good photos of where it used to be.
Yeah.
On Facebook, there's a place called Mansfield History.
Okay.
And they must have 1,000 old photographs of Mansfield and all about, and they have like some of the people that lived here years and years and years ago, and certainly predate us. And I don't know if you've ever seen it or had time.
In fact, I apologize. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was a graduate of Mansfield High School in 1960, 61.
Well, there's a group of them.
Yeah, well, there's one guy that went out specifically to do this. And of course, 10 years ago, we had a book that was created around Mansfield.
Got a copy.
Yeah, got a copy. But yeah, we've seen a lot of changes. And my dad, who is 86 this month, great history of Mansfield. And he still remembers everything and where everything was. And I think, when he ran a laundry route where he picked up the laundry from.
Does he still have a Toronado?
Yeah, we do. It's down hidden in the barn.
Wow.
With 60,000 miles on it. So
Jeez.
in 1966, it's pretty cool. So he doesn't drive it as much as he used to because he was getting a habit of knocking hubcaps off and can't find them. So Dad, you got to lay off the curb rash.
Right.
But,
that's the other thing. We want to get a license plate from Massachusetts. You know how New Hampshire, live free or die? I think we should get one from Massachusetts. Drive like hell. You'll get there. You can do that, right? You could sponsor a bill.
We could do that, right?
Massachusetts, drive like hell. You'll get there.
That could work.
So,
Doing the Southeast Expressway, you see a lot of people driving like crazy.
yeah. You know what? I'll tell you that if you don't like the way they're driving, stay off the sidewalk. It happens. Well, anyways, I want to thank you. I know you got probably 2 or 3 more engagements to go
Yep.
before you call it a day. But I want
Exactly.
to thank you for coming by. And I was a little nervous on having you by. I mean, the last time I had you here, the day after, I went into work and that was it. It was over.
I'm sorry.
You know, next thing you know, handcuffs, security.
There you
no,
go.
no, it was a layoff. And
Oh, boy.
I said, geez, I said, you know, I don't want to have this guy back again. I said, I made sure I had plenty to do tomorrow.
Leave a high stack, they'll keep you.
Yeah. So
Good.
anyways, I do want to thank you. I
Yeah, good.
appreciate it. It's always
Thanks.
good to have you.
Good to have you.
You got something to tell us? We want